Hey, it's Jaime with Echo Real Estate Advisors. Welcome to the channel that provides actionable content to help your business grow. Don't forget to subscribe, as every month I give away one of my YouTube, Facebook, and Google courses away for free as a thank you for being a subscriber. All right, commercial over. Let's get to business. One listing, 10 clients. How are we going to do that? How can we take one listing and multiply it and get us 10 clients? They can be a list, it can be another listing, or it can be a home purchase. So from the buying side, how can we take this one listing and get those 10? Now, the easy answer is going to be, hey, run a Facebook ad and get 10 leads, or run Google campaigns to get 10 leads after that. There's a lot of paid ways to do that. Now, there is one that I'm gonna include in this list, but I want it to be as reasonable and realistic as possible. This isn't one of those videos that is a easy button by any stretch of the imagination. What I wanna illustrate with this video is how simple it is to magnify your reach with one listing. You have a huge asset on your hands, literally and figuratively as well, where you can take this listing and really multiply it to have a broader reach. So again, these are strategies that are not meant to be over the moon, unrealistic, unattainable, having you invest a ton of money. So these are actual reasonable and realistic strategies to get those 10 clients. Let's go. Right off the bat, you have to invest in a yard sign. Oh, darn. Something that you already have. Is it reasonable that as soon as you take that one listing, you go and place that yard sign? Is it reasonable to believe that while that yard sign is out in that yard, you can get 1 to 2 clients from that? Is it reasonable to believe that as people drive through, they see your phone number on there and they see the house and they see, well, I would love to live in this neighborhood. Let me call that number and see how much they're asking for it. They call you up and they're telling you how many bedrooms they want, how many bathrooms they want, everything else like that. And it just so happens that the house that you have listed does not meet their criteria. But is it reasonable to believe that they can actually benefit of your services to go and find that ideal home? If they're not being represented, of course. Is it reasonable to believe that? Is it reasonable to believe that you can have 1 to 2 people become your clients just from one yard sign and one listing? I'd like to think so. No secret there. It happens every single day. So we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna ballpark it, say 1 to 2 like actual clients, not leads, actual clients that you start working with. Open houses. Let's just say you put that property on the market on Thursday or on Friday, and you run an open house on Saturday for 4 hours. You were there from noon to 4 or 8 to 2, whatever your strategy is on the open houses. Let's just say you were there for 4 hours. Is it reasonable to believe that you attracted 10 people, 10 groups of people to that open house within 4 hours? It's not that difficult, right? It's fairly reasonable, especially when you're talking about the high activity in the summer, the buying season, if you will. So open houses, if you do that on a Saturday, is it reasonable to believe that you can attract 10 groups through there? Minimum. And I'm just saying minimum, right? Now, is it also reasonable to believe that you can do the same thing on Sunday? So have one on Saturday, have one on Sunday, and drive at least 20 groups of people to that house, minimum. Of course, you can go up to, there's some wildly successful open houses, depending on how well you market it and everything else like that. I'm being very conservative and very generous. Not trying to inflate any numbers, I'm just trying to be reasonable and realistic. So open houses, if you do an open house for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Again, you took that property out to market on, let's say Friday for this example. Then you have 20 people minimum to work with. Is it reasonable to believe that you can get at least one to work with you and ultimately become a client? And that's assuming that the property was only on the market for that weekend and not gone into contract. If it hasn't gotten into contract, you do the same thing again the following week, until it gets sold. So you're getting this database of potential buyers and people that you can work with. So again, this isn't earth-shattering information. Again, the purpose of this video is to illustrate how you can magnify your listing and really leverage your listing to get those 10 clients just from one transaction. All right, so open houses, I think we passed the test. Third parties, here's a little bit of a controversial strategy. Not so much controversial, but I welcome debate here. So let me know in the comment section below. When I say third parties, I'm talking about your Trulias, your Homes, your Homes.com, Zillow. Third parties that get their data from the MLS. Is it reasonable to believe that you can at least get one person based off of that information? Now, here's where the controversy comes into play. As some of these third-party websites aren't necessarily giving your information to clients unless you pay them. So this is where that controversial part comes into play. Now, what happens sometimes is people will go online and see it on Zillow and see who's listing it, and then they'll research your information and get your contact information rather than the other 3 people that have paid money into that zip code, and they reach out to you. So this is where, I welcome a healthy debate. So let me know in the comment section below if you think this should be included or not. But I do believe that based off of my presence on the Zillows, the Trulias, the Homes.com, the Realtor.coms, my profile does help and helps. It's like my resume that does help bridge that trust and provide trust to where people would actually want to reach out to me and become, not only inquire about the home, but also work with me. So I went ahead and included it here. We can say at least one. We can expect or count on getting one person to work with us and become a client from this one listing. Again, let me know in the comment section below if you think that this should be included or not. Mail outs. This is something that you may be doing or not doing. So I encourage you to try this out. When you have your listing, is it reasonable to believe that you took that property out to market on Friday, you had your open houses on Saturday and Sunday, and then you got it into contract? So within 3 days, you had this property under contract with multiple offers above asking price. Wouldn't you want to tell the neighborhood that? Wouldn't you want to share with the entire neighborhood that their neighbor went to market on Friday and is under contract on Sunday with multiple offers and above asking? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't you want to send that out either after it went into contract, so you get some time to generate some additional buzz, or when you close a transaction? Wouldn't it be very powerful to have the neighbors know that? This isn't a ad that says, hey, or this is a mail out that says, hey, I'm the best in the area, hey, I'm the best in the neighborhood, hey, I'm the best in the world. This is a real life example that you got one of their neighbors under contract that they can go and knock on the door and verify that. Wouldn't that be speak volumes, having a mail out like that? Now, we all know that mail outs, we all know that mail marketing has percentage-wise a low conversion rate. So if you're sending out 200 letters or 200 cards, whatever you're using as a mail out, you are looking at striking out. That is a high probability, but you're also, it would stand to reason and reasonable that you could at least get one person off of that. So based off of your one listing, you could get based off of the mail out strategy, you could at least get one person to purchase. So I don't think that's too controversial, and it's certainly very reasonable. Referrals, you do a great job with your client. You do a great job getting that person under contract, guiding them through the selling process, negotiation, and all that fun stuff, and you close. They are super duper happy customers. Is it reasonable to believe that throughout their either at that moment that they sold or in the following week, month, years, whatever it is it reasonable to believe that that one client can at least refer you one additional client? At least. Is it reasonable? So again, I'm not sharing anything earth-shattering. I am sharing this as just helping you, really raising awareness and illustrating how, I'm not gonna say easy, but simple it is to expand your reach, and how you should be leveraging a listing, because it is very powerful. It's a huge asset to have and really magnify when you do have them. And I'm just talking about one listing. Now we get to the last example, and I have to include Facebook because it is that multiplier. If you're using Facebook in the correct way, not only will you get leads organically by posting on your business page, personal page, or Facebook Marketplace, garage groups, professional groups, not only will you get clients organically, but you can certainly get clients paid through paid advertising. So I went ahead and included Facebook in both capacities, the organic and also the paid. So all of these, if you average them out, it will come out to 10 clients that you can get from one listing. Now, all of these examples, they are reasonable. All of these examples are something that you can go and implement today, assuming you have a listing. If you don't, get somebody in your brokerage or ask to borrow a listing with their permission. As long as you advertise it within your state's regulations, you're gonna be good. But all of these strategies are meant to be reasonable, obtainable, and aren't pie in the sky strategies that there's no chance that you're gonna be able to deploy. And these aren't even the full exhaustive list. You can also email your buyers list. I'm sure at this point in your career, or maybe not so much if you started off, but you have a healthy buyers list, you have a healthy investor list, you have a healthy past client list where they can share it with their friends. You could do that. You could do Craigslist postings, you can do Instagram ads, you can do Google ads, you can really magnify your reach with one listing and get well beyond the 10. I'm just giving you an example of what one listing can do for your business.